Now let's read the third paragraph.
Leonardo, the engineer and inventor. Leonardo's notebooks had many drawings of machines. There were helicopters, boats, and cars. He didn't make many of the machines. Hundreds of years later, inventors started to build similar machines. This is one of Leonardo's drawings of a parachute. In the year 2000, engineers made Leonardo's parachute with wood and cloth. A man used the parachute to jump from a hot air balloon. He landed safely.
Yes, he was an inventor and an engineer. So here you have some of his drawings, some of the designs he invented. He invented the first concept of a robot. Here, the knight robot. Knight means chevalier in French. So, of course, he made many drawings and technical draftings about the robot. And he also wrote many explanations on how to build it. The only concept of a robot at that time is just incredible. Here, this is the first design of a car, the self-propelled car. Here, the first parachute. And here, this is the ancestor of what we call now the helicopter. So, Leonardo actually never came to build these inventions. But he gave enough details to be able to build them. And this is what has been done. So, as it is said in the text, scientists started to build the designs of Leonardo da Vinci. So here you have an example of the parachute. It was Adrian Nichols in 2002 who built it, and he tried it, and it actually worked. This is just amazing. Here's the helicopter, and you can find it in San Diego Air and Space Museum in the United States. And here you've got the self-propelled car. It was built in 2004. It wasn't easy to build at all because it was very difficult for the scientists to understand what Leonardo da Vinci wrote in his explanation. So it took many years to actually build it. But when it was finished, it actually worked. But it could only go forward and not backward. But it's a great invention. He also invented military machines, war machines. Remember, he went to Milan to work as a military engineer at the age of 30. And this is when he invented the machine gun, the tank, the giant crossbow, and the diving suit. So these designs have actually come to life. Here you can see the machine gun, the armored tank, the diving suit. The diving suit was designed to attack other boats underwater. And the giant crossbow. So the machine gun and the armored tank actually exist today, but in a different way. So that would be the machine gun, okay, and the tank. He was also obsessed with flying. He knew that one day the man was going to fly. And he designed many devices like the helicopter I showed you before, and here the flying machine. this invention never became a reality because you need lots of power to actually take off. So this is the night robot built by Mark Rosheim in 2002. Mark Rosheim works for NASA. He built robots for NASA. And this robot could actually sit down and move his arms. He could wave and he could move his neck and his jaw. Okay, so that was amazing to invent and actually give all the explanation to build a robot like this. And the mechanical lion that I showed you before, okay, so this was also designed by Leonardo and then reproduced hundreds of years later. Okay, so now let's listen to the fourth paragraph.
Leonardo the painter. Did Leonardo finish many paintings? No, he didn't. Leonardo only finished around 20 paintings. He wanted his art to be perfect. His most famous painting is Mona Lisa. He always said, "It isn't finished." The painting is a mystery. Nobody knows why the woman is smiling.
Smile, please.
Leonardo da Vinci was, of course, a painter and a brilliant painter. This is the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is the most famous painting in the world. Each year, 6 million of people visit the Louvre in Paris to admire the Mona Lisa. She's famous for a smile. It's an enigmatic smile. Nobody knows why she is smiling. And also because it's a very emotional painting. It also seems that the Mona Lisa is looking at you wherever you are. Nowadays, art experts are still finding details in the painting which show how a brilliant and unique painter Leonardo da Vinci was. Leonardo da Vinci always thought that this painting wasn't finished. He wanted it to be perfect. So that's why when he went to France, he took the painting with him. Do you know why she's called Mona Lisa? Well, Mona in Italian is the short word for Madonna. Okay, and Madonna means madam, and Lisa is her name. So Madame Lisa, Madonna Lisa, and the short name for Madonna is Mona, Mona Lisa. She's also called the Gioconda, La Joconde in French. She's called like this because her husband, Francisco del Giacondo, hired Leonardo da Vinci to paint her. So he asked Leonardo da Vinci to paint his wife Lisa, okay? And as this successful and rich merchant was called Francisco del Giacondo, well, then the painting has been called La Gioconda. So as I said before, Leonardo took this portrait with him in France. So which means that Francisco del Giacondo and Lisa, Madonna Lisa, never received this portrait. Or did they? Maybe they received this Mona Lisa, which is called the Isleworth Mona Lisa. It was first thought to be a copy, but experts said that the face and the hands could only be the work of Leonardo da Vinci. But maybe it was finished by some other artist. The Isleworth Mona Lisa looks much younger than the Mona Lisa which is in the Louvre. So that's why it is thought that maybe it's an earlier version and the version that was given to Francisco del Giacondo and his wife. And here comes the painting that has influenced our culture and our good manners. It is because of this painting that it's very impolite nowadays to put your elbows on the table when you're eating. I'm going to tell you why in a moment. This is the second most famous painting of Leonardo da Vinci. It's called The Last Supper. This scene is a very famous religious scene, which has been represented by many artists. But Leonardo's painting is unique and original because of all the emotion and the tension among the characters. This scene was painted directly on a wall, which was quite unusual. It is in the convent. The convent is like a church. It is in the convent of Santa Maria del Grazie in Milan, in Italy. So if you want to go and see it, you just need to go to Milan. Okay, so now let's solve the mystery. Can you see the only person who's got their elbow on the table? In the middle here, it's Jesus. And here is the person with the elbow on the table. And this person is Judas. Judas is a traitor in the Christian history. A traitor is a very bad person. It is because of him that Jesus got arrested and killed the day after this supper. So, since Leonardo decided to represent the bad man, the traitor, with the elbow on the table, well, nobody would dare to have the same position at a table. Nobody would dare to put their elbows on the table like Judas, like the bad man. So now you know why. You know why it's very impolite nowadays to put your elbows on the table. So if it's a new fact for you, you can share it with your family. And last but not least, Salvator Mundi. We know that Leonardo da Vinci painted Jesus, but we lost the painting. In the 1960s, it was sold at auction, à une vente aux enchères, for less than 50 euros. And 3 years ago, in 2017, it was sold at auction at $450 million. $450 million, which makes it the most expensive artwork of all times. Some experts say it's not a real Leonardo, but some others says yes, it is a real Leonardo da Vinci. And now the last paragraph.
Leonardo and France. In 1516, Leonardo went to live in France. He wanted other people to see his drawings and achievements, so he organised his notebooks. When he died in 1519, many of his notebooks disappeared. Did Leonardo draw other fantastic machines? Nobody knows.
Good. So that's what we said before. He was invited by the King of France, Francis I, and he went there in the Château d'Amboise to work and live. And he died at the age of 67. Good. And an interesting fact about Leonardo.
Interesting fact. Leonardo's writing wasn't easy to read. He wrote backwards, so you needed a mirror to read it. Nobody knows why he did this. Maybe he didn't want anyone to read his ideas.
So here's another interesting fact about Leonardo da Vinci. He was writing everything backwards. And it's still a mystery why. Good, so I hope you liked today's presentation of Leonardo da Vinci, and I hope that you learned many things and that it's going to inspire you somehow in your life. Okay, have a good week. Bye-bye.